Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about the Sol-Gel derived chromium dope bioceramics for the bone regeneration application. Here, what is the types of the biomaterial? First, bioactive glass, second, glass ceramics, third, bioceramics, and last one is composite material, which is a blending of polymer and biomaterial that we're going to discuss later on. Now, what is the difference between the bioactive glass, glass ceramics, and bioceramics? And which one is more better? See, when we talk about the bioactive glass, from the XRD data, we can see that the amorphous peaks, which has formed when the sample we did the rapid cooling and which led to the amorphous data. So there are no crystalline phases, and this is known as bioactive glass. When this bioactive glass is centered at the different transition temperatures, the crystalline peaks we get at the different temperatures, that is 550, where there is this is a rough glass, that is bioactive glass, there is no peaks. After sintering at different temperature, that is 550, 600, 667, we got the high intensity peaks. And what about the bioceramics? Here, the slow cooling of the sample which led to the crystalline phases formed and the faster rate of apatite formation. Why we take the bioceramics? What are the unique properties when we compare the bioceramics with the human bone? Our human bone has a compressive strength of 92 to 30, bending strength to 30 to 190, elastic modulus to 3 to 30 gigapascal. Whereas bioceramics is having the 500 to 1000 megapascals compressive strength, which is very much greater than the human bone, as well as comparing bending strength and elastic modulus. So bioceramics is the unique synthetic material that is used for the repair and regeneration of bone at the defect site. Here is the method for the synthesis of the bioceramics, that is Sol-Gel method. We are using the precursors like silica dioxide, TOS, that is tetraethyl orthosilicate, which is a precursor of silica dioxide, distilled water, 1 molar HNO3, which is a catalyst and act as a gelifying agent, whereas TEP, triethyl phosphate, D, distilled water, calcium nitrate, the precursor of calcium oxide, and the chromium nitrate nonahydrate is a precursor of chromium oxide. When we mix these solutions, a sol is formed, solid particle dispersed in a liquid phase, and led to this gel formation after aging for 2 days. Then calcinating the gel at 700 degrees Celsius for 5 hours led to formation of our bioceramic sample. Composition of bioceramics. Here we are taking the main thing is to design the bioceramic composition. Here the sum of these is 100. I am taking in the mole percent. There are various methods to calculate the composition of bioceramics. I am using the mole percent. So 43 plus 42 plus 15, it's 100. Here I am replacing the calcium oxide with chromium oxide without varying these silica dioxide and phosphate pentoxide. So I am varying with 20468 mole percent of chromium oxide with calcium oxide. Now, why we use these ions? Silica, it is a network former. Collagen and elastic production processes in bones and cartilage and connective tissue, and it's also accelerate the mineralization for the apatite formation. Apatite we discussed in our other videos. What is the apatite? That is mimics the human bone. Calcium, it is network moderator, and it is we all know that it is present in the our bones and teeth, and also reduce the risk of osteoporosis. And what is the role of phosphorus? It is network former, works with the calcium to develop the maintain the strong bones and health. bones and teeth. Chromium, it is also a network moderator and prevent the bone loss and good antimicrobial properties. And what is the mechanism of hydroxyapatite layer? Here, what is the process is going? This is the silica network is formed, and SPF is the mimics is the similar to the human blood plasma that we synthesize in the lab, and I have talked about in our previous videos. So in this, the hydronium ion enter the network with the release of calcium ion, and then calcium ion, then salicylic acid is released with the formation of synanol groups, and further the condensation of synanol groups near the bioceramic surface. This blue color layer is indicating that. Then the migration of this calcium and phosphate ions on this layer with the formation of this white color layer, that is formation is the apatite layer, and which mimics the human bone. Why soldier method is better? Because it is highly porous, low processing temperature required for the synthesis of the bioceramics, that is 600 to 700 degrees Celsius, high surface area, high degradable, more the implant material degradable, more easily the bone formation take place. It is highly biocompatible, it is non-toxic to the human tissues, and high rate of apatite formation on the surface of bioceramics. So thank you guys for watching my video.